Alright, Stephen King adaptations, this one failed. But, can this redeem that? Hey there guys, how are you? It's me, the Canadian movie buff, with a review of It. Based on the book of the same name, I've probably used that phrase more often in my reviews this year than I ought to. It follows a group of preteens who call themselves the Losers Club. What they have in common is that they're all being haunted by a sinister-looking clown called Pennywise, and they discover that this creature is something that has existed for thousands of years. Wanting to fight back, they prepare to head down into the sewers of Derry, Maine to kill the clown once and for all. Perhaps the second most used phrase in my reviews this year, I have not read the source material. I get it, Hollywood, you want me to read more books, but I'm working on it, see? Having seen the 1990 miniseries, I was interested in seeing what they would do differently. With the focus primarily on the kids, a 2-hour and 50-minute runtime, a straight-up classic horror tale, and a 14A rating, R in the US, this killer clown tale will go down as one of the best adaptations of a Stephen King property. Warner Brothers is on fire with having child actors in their horror movies. First the Conjuring movies, then Annabelle Creation, and now this? Looks like Disney isn't the only way for child actors to get their start. The entire cast was amazing. Now these aren't the squeaky clean characters you would see in Diary of a Wimpy Kid or some other movie. As soon as their parents are no longer in sight, they're dropping F-bombs and telling dirty jokes. Basically how junior high / middle school students act in real life. They had so many awesome lines, probably some of the most memorable of the year. I can't remember any of the top of the head right now, but once I see it again, I'll be like, hey, that was a really good line. It's not like they were buddy pals to begin with. It actually shows how they meet and form the Losers Club, and it never feels rushed or as if they met by plot convenience. Okay, admittedly, there was a smidge of plot convenience. You know, just a little. There were also some genuine thrills in this movie without an over-reliance on jump scares. It drew you in with its cinematography and high-strung music and slowly unraveled the scare right before you. Surprisingly, there were a lot of Dutch tilts, a type of shot that you don't really see in movies nowadays. For those of you who don't know, a Dutch tilt is an overhead shot that's slightly off balance to give it that uneasy feeling. This movie is also a hell of a lot darker and violent than the miniseries. In fact, you actually get to see Georgie's arm bitten off, something that was graphically described in the book. Or at least I heard was graphically described in the book. Now that doesn't count as a spoiler because everybody and their mother knows that he was going to die. Even if you haven't seen the miniseries over the book, if you've seen the trailer, then you will know that Georgie's death is a major plot point in the movie. And as much as I like Tim Curry's performance, Bill Skarsgård is a much scarier Pennywise. Then again, they're two different adaptations. Curry was more cheesy and comedic, whereas Skarsgård was more sinister and menacing. It's kind of like comparing each actor who plays the Joker. For some people, there will always be that one definitive Joker, but that doesn't mean that the other versions are bad. There's nothing wrong with looking at one particular version and saying that's the best, because it's different for everybody. Who knows, if they do a remake 27 years down the line, then that version of Pennywise in that movie will be completely different from Skarsgård and Curry. And just listen to their voices and you can tell that they were meant to be different.
Hi, Georgie.
Hiya, Georgie.
I, Georgie, am Pennywise, the dancing clown.
I'm Pennywise, the dancing clown.
You are Georgie. So now we know each other.
Now we aren't strangers, are we?
There were some jokes here and there and a couple lighthearted moments, but it never really took me out of the movie. It was just some levity to add to the movie to give it a bit of a balance. It gives the audience a chance to breathe and let that guard down before gotcha! Even though he was a crucial member of the Losers Club, I felt as if Mike was an underdeveloped character. According to the miniseries, and from what I've heard in the book, he's the only one to stay in Derry after they defeat Pennywise, and he eventually becomes a cop, and when Pennywise returns 27 years later, he's the one who calls him up and says, hey, clown's back, we gotta go kill it again. I spoke in a really bad Boston accent for that part, I don't know why. Point is, when chapter 2 starts off, he's going to be the first face we see, and people more likely going to be, who are you again? The final act had a lot of shaky cam and jump cuts. Like the director thought that high tension means barely being able to see what's going on. I was down in front, so when you see everything jumbled together, you're just sitting there like, I honestly think that the time freeze battle sequence from King Arthur Legend of the Sword had better cinematography. It is making a lot of money right now, and for good reason. It's a fantastic movie. The scary parts were terrifying, the child actors were great, the cinematography was amazing, the soundtrack was excellent, and the plot never rushed or dragged. It's not just a great horror movie, it's a great movie, period. When all is said and done, The Tale of Pennywise makes for an awesome movie that is a total Incredi-Blast. Happy Halloween, y'all. See you in the next episode.